Hello, and welcome to Lulu's Way Healthy Food, Healthy Life. My name is Nicole, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be your host this evening. To keep this meeting free from distraction, we ask that all in attendance please mute yourselves as you're speaking. We also ask that you keep the video mode turned off if you are doing anything other than sitting and participating in this meeting so that we can minimize distraction. In this community, we gather to support, encourage, and inspire on the benefits of nutrition, weight loss, wellness, and the joy that comes from choosing to serve yourself well. We are not medically trained, nor do we have formal training in nutrition. We come together here for the sole purpose of providing support, sharing experiences, and promoting a healthy lifestyle. It may be wise to check with your healthcare professional with any dietary suggestions or advice you receive from this group discussion, particularly if you have health challenges. Individuals in this group may have different ideas on how to eat healthy. Just figure out what works best for you and do it your way.
Great. Thanks, Nicole.
Yeah. And tonight's topic is, are you in it for the long haul?
Yeah. So speaking of the long haul, okay, so a very important date for me this week. Saturday. Today's Thursday, right? Saturday, April 12th. April 12th, 2014 was the first day that I put my food on the scale and weighed out my first breakfast. Wondering if I was going to do this for the long haul or not. But I remembered the date the way that, like, an alcoholic remembers the date they quit drinking. Like, you ask any alcoholic, they'll be like, oh yeah, I stopped drinking on July 26th, you know, and they know when they quit drinking. I know when I quit drinking too. I did quit drinking December 28th, 2013. And then about 4 months later, I felt like I was eating alcoholically, and I needed to look at that just like the alcohol. You know, I had to look at that like it was just as serious, because it is. So it's been 11 years. On Saturday it will be 11 years, and there's something about having that milestone date for me. Like, it's not like, oh, on April 12th, 2014, I started taking care of myself off and on. You know, it's like, that's not really what I set out to do. What I set out to do was to change my life, to change, to redesign my life. I had to redesign it. Instead of my life revolving around food, eating food, it still revolves around food, but in a different way, you know? It's kind of interesting, you know? My life doesn't revolve around food anymore, but it revolves around food, you know? I really felt like I was in it for the long haul. That's why I noted that date, and I'll never forget that date. I encourage anybody that's struggling to just pick a date, preferably today, and just begin. And each day you can say, okay, I did it one day, I did it 2 days, I did it 3 days, 4 days, and I'll tell you, before you know it, you'll be saying, I've been doing it for 11 years. And I feel like every day that I take care of myself in this way, in this very regimented way, that really seems very restrictive, but it's actually freedom. It's freedom in disguise. I feel as free as a bird from food addiction, because it had me by the throat. I feel like every day I feel like better than the day before. Like, I feel like it continues to be like an investment. It's not like I got thin and I got well 10 years ago, because I'm going to say probably a year losing the weight. Okay, so just say 10 years ago, that's when I was at a healthy weight, and then I started feeling healthy. I don't feel the same as I did 10 years ago. I feel better, because I believe that I keep adding to my health, that I'm in it for the long haul, and that my body just continues to thrive and heal, just healing from just life's toxic environment that I'm going to be a part of, whether I want to or not, right? So I breathe the air, I drink the water, I just trust my food is clean. But you know something? I feel like my body continues to get stronger and better. And there's many people have said this to me. I really haven't noticed it. I mean, I don't look in the mirror and think about how old I look, or if I look young or old. I don't really measure that in myself, because I'm 66 and I'm cool with looking like I'm 66. Like, if somebody says you look like you're 46, it doesn't feel like a compliment. Nobody's ever said that, trust me. But people have been writing me saying that they saw my van tour on Butterfly Tracks channel, and that was before I had my channel, but it was right before I had my channel. So in this past January was 2 years for my channel, and I had that van tour with her in December. So it was a little over 2 years ago. So I have been following this food plan for years and years and years, and people said that they watched that video and they can't believe that I look younger. They would think that I was younger today. And actually my hair was dark in that I did something silly and just decided I wanted to be a brunette, but that was very short-lived because I missed my white hair. But here I am with the white hair instead of brunette. But they were saying, like, you just look so much younger today. Like, as the days go on, you're going down in years. And you know, like I said, I haven't noticed that in myself. But I know how I feel, and I just know that I just keep feeling better and better. And you know, I don't know, because anything is possible, but I'm very confident that a year from now I will be celebrating myself, knowing that I have been taking good care of myself for 12 years. I'm pretty confident that that's going to happen, because you know, when something's working, like, you kind of stick with it, you know, stick with it. If you really feel like you've begun and you feel that same thing that I feel, I'd love to hear from you tonight. I think the more of us that talk about that feeling, like, because none of us know, we don't know. Like, I could be face down in a pie tomorrow. I don't think I will be, but I could be. Just like anybody that's, because, like, you know, we talk about sugar, it's the devil, it's like crack, you know, and like any drug addict and any alcoholic that stops doing that self-destructive behavior, you know, and then sometimes they go back to it. And it's just like, I really thought I was never going to drink again, but here I am, drunk, you know, and now my life is a mess again. And that happens to people that have been sober for a long time, or people that have been off of drugs for a long time. And every day that they take good care of themselves, they just keep building their health. And that's how I feel. I just feel like I keep building my health. And so, you know, if you've been doing this for a while and you have a date that you started, I'd love to hear that date. And if you don't have a date and you've just been kind of, even if it was 2 days ago, that's really important, because there's some people that can't do 2 days. So if you've been doing it for 2 days, that's a good thing, because I've done it the past 2 days too. And then if you've done it the past 2 days, we have that in common. And some people can't do it, you know. People try and then they can't do it until they do, whenever that will be. So I would love to see everybody doing it, so everybody could feel as good as I feel. And so yeah, let us know your date, how you've been feeling, and what does it feel like for you to really feel like you're in it for the long haul. I can't give this up. It's just too awesome. I mean, it's better than any sandwich or slice of pizza that I could sit down and put in my face. It's just better. It's so much better. Like, this is something I get to enjoy like every day, all day. It just doesn't get old, like how good I feel. I mean, in 4 years, I'm going to be 70, you know? And I feel just so alive. And I know it's my choices. It's the things that I've been choosing for myself, that everybody else can make the same choices, and just love yourself as much as I love myself, you know? Self-love. So anyway, so that's what I got on this. What about you, Nicole?
Well, that is beautiful. And I'll tell you, I did some calculating, and 11 years is 4,015 days.
Wow.
So, holy smokes.
That's a lot of days, yeah.
That's a lot of days.
And that's a lot of days. That's a lot of days. If I hadn't changed, that would have been, I know that all these 11 years later, I would be in really bad shape right now. If for the past 11 years I've been, you know, drinking and eating and not taking my weight off, I know I would not be well, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And emotionally too, mentally, physically. So I would be coughing, I would be overweight, I would be not having good sleep. You know, I sleep so good. To put a peaceful mind on the pillow every night, you know, and just say like, you know, you had another good day, Lulu, you know, and it feels really good, and I can just conk right out, you know, feels really good.
Yeah, well, I will tell you, my date is 10/29/23. I always say 11/1 because it's easier, but it's 10/29, and it's been a year and a half of 100%, and I think I can say that yes, I'm in it for the long haul. I don't want to do anything else, because nothing else has ever served me well. And Lulu, just knowing that there was one other person at the time when I saw your video, one other person in the whole world who was actually doing it, gave me like so much strength, the strength to actually do it myself. Because it was an example and it was evident, you know, it wasn't just like something I was reading, it was a real live person. And I feel so grateful that you put yourself out there for us to find. And now knowing there's a little tribe of us, you know, all doing it and all striving, is just like, it's like a band of just like, I don't know, inspiration and powerful like connection. And I root for all of you the same way I root for myself. But I really feel like there is not going to be a time in the future where I will start again, because I'm never going to let this go. You know, God willing, I'm never going to let this go. And I hang on to it. I cherish it. I don't want to ever make an excuse. When I ask myself, you know, am I doing the best that I can? I know the best that I can is 100%, no excuses. Because any time in the past when I ever wanted to go off of a diet or not take care of myself, I had no trouble doing that. You know, it was just like a slippery slope, and I want to do everything I can to prevent that. And so doing it 100% for me is the best that I can, and I know I can do it because Lulu does it. I've been doing it for a year and a half. I hope in 10 years, I'm saying, you know, it's almost 11 years. I can't believe how fast a year and a half has gone. Yeah. Like, and some of the people in my life who are like, wow, you're really shrinking, you know, they don't see me every day, but they want to know about the plan a little bit. Maybe they want to do it. I'm not sure they realize that I do this every single day, no exceptions. So like, all the time that goes by, because, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, what are you doing? I want to do it, you know, and you give them the plan. And then it's like, oh, you know, because they maybe don't have the same like moment in their life yet that I had, or they don't have the same addiction problem that I have, you know, where I'm not just trying to manage things. I needed an overhaul. I needed like a turnaround and run the other way kind of moment. And I had that. and I don't want to give it up. So I like what you said a long time ago, Lulu, which is when someone asked you if you would ever have like an ice cream cone or something, and you said, I'll be lucky if I don't. And I think about that anytime someone's even asking me if I want something, because the answer is always no. And food can be all around me. And I am so focused on this. Like, there are cake pops in my fridge right now for my husband. There's this, there's that. None of it matters because it's not my food. And I'll be lucky if I never have it. Now, I don't suggest saying, let me have this all around me if you're not at that point, because in the beginning I wasn't. But it's just not my food. I know what my food is, and I know why I want to eat that food. Because it's healthy, because it's non-addictive, because it's giving me the life I want, the body I want. And by body, I don't mean, the specimen is all ripped and great, because it's not. It's giving me the mobility body that I want to, spend my retirement in, and even before retirement. So Pam, when I saw that picture of you with those cherry trees, I cried because you are so beautiful, and you're getting so close to you're landing the plane. And I feel the same for all of us. I don't ever want you to lose that either, because it's so precious, and not that you just look like a doll there with all the gorgeousness around you, but because I know what it means to you. I know you couldn't walk hardly anywhere before. And, I know some of our other stories here, they give me strength, and I just wish that for every one of us who's ever spent too much of our life, abusing ourselves and not having a quality of life. What could be better than that? So yeah, I'm in it for the long haul, and I don't want to lose it. I'll sit in these meetings until I don't know, I can't type anymore, like I'm, 107. If anyone, when people ask me questions, I get a lot of questions, and kind of like Lulu, kind of like your right-hand gal, I think, for people's questions. I love it. I'm like, yeah, somebody wants, a line on something. And I know you feel that way. And to a very small degree, I feel that way, connect where you can, and Godspeed, because this is a precious, precious thing. And yes, the answer is yes, I'm in it for the long haul.
I'm so grateful. So grateful. You're just like a ray of sunshine, Nicole. It's just so wonderful to have you here, and to just watch you get what you want. This is what I want. This is what I need to do to get there. I'm doing it, and I'm going to enjoy it. It's a lot easier to do when you enjoy it, and you want to do it, instead of always kind of fighting the food. It's always calling your name, and isn't it really interesting how it just stops calling your name when you just don't keep that slow drip going in all the time? Those little 2-point Weight Watcher snacks, that's like a little drip of your drug, and it's just so awesome to just not be craving and longing for something other than what you have and what you're doing. And I can just tell you love what you're doing. So I'm so grateful.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to encourage everybody too who might be struggling, because the more you kind of resist, don't you think, the more you resist it, and the more you think about the grip it has on you, I think that can grow to kind of be overwhelming. But to try to let it go and just grasp the new healthy thing, because what happened to me anyway is it never went away. That's the other thing I try to think about. Every single day I either hated myself, or I wished I could find the answer. It wasn't like I coasted along for 3 or 4 months feeling fine and then thought, oh gee, I should lose weight again. It was every day this cloud of depression and unhealthy just like feeling sluggish. And I don't always look in the rearview mirror, but I don't forget, because my day used to be quite different. I would finish work and I would start eating something and I would go to the couch, I would fall asleep, I would wake up to go to bed. I mean, I wasn't doing anything other than just sort of surviving and feeling super sluggish because of the foods I was eating and the weight I was at. So, to think about, like, if you're struggling, like, try giving this a chance. Try putting that aside and sucking it up for a little while, and then this beautiful thing happens where your cravings aren't there anymore. Then it's all just mental processing, because I still process a lot. Oh, those people are saying, why don't you have some of this? And I think, I used to do that, but I don't do that. I mean, it's always thinking. I'm not like never thinking about it again and just saying this is my food. I think about it, but not in the terms of I might do that, but why I used to do that and now what I'm doing and how much happier I am about it. So anyway, thank
Beautiful.
you.
Just beautiful.
Thank you for existing, Lulu, and thank you for making this group, and for everybody here who shares. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm so grateful everyone's here too. It's wonderful.
Okay, yeah. So next up is Liz.
Hi, Liz.
Hi, everybody. I would like to say that I'm 100% since my day one, but I haven't been. I am this kind of a learner. Every time I fall, but then I learn, and then I go up, and then I learn. I fall, and then I learn, and then my resolve is stronger, and my learning is, I just don't know what kind of learner that means I am, but that is how I am. So my day one was February 21, 2023. And why do I remember that? Because it's Mardi Gras, the day before Lent started in 2023. I was practicing my faith, and I was going to give something up, and that small, still voice inside of me said, give up bacon for Lent. And I was very surprised, and because I would never give up bacon, because bacon is what was keeping me eating the way I was eating for 10 years, and kept me away from diabetes, because I was eating so low carb. And so I would have 2 slices of bacon every night. And so for me, for that small, still voice inside of me to say, give up bacon for Lent, that was a really big ask. And so out of obedience, I did that. And I did not know what I was going to do after that. All I knew is that I'm going to be obedient. I am going to follow, this for Lent. And then through prayer and things and meditation and things like that, things started coming to me like, maybe I started to lose weight. Maybe I can lose weight. I mean, I was at the same weight, basically a little bit up and down, same weight range, which was about 207 for 10 years. I did not believe I could lose weight. I'm postmenopausal. And however, I kept diabetes away by the way I ate. And I believed that was my goal. That was my goal, is to not get diabetes. And so I was succeeding at my goal. Well, when I began to give up that bacon, things started coming into my life. I how that happens. And Lulu and her videos came into my life through the band, because that year we were celebrating our 25th anniversary, and we had decided to purchase a minivan and make it into like a camper kind of thing and go to national parks. That's what we were going to do for our 25th anniversary. And that was going to set us up for when we retire. We're going to do the national parks. So I got Lulu's videos through that, and I could see how she was eating. I'm thinking, what? That's so interesting. And so I kind of like looked it up, and so I was kind of doing my own kind of figuring out and how Lulu was doing it. And after a while, she posted how she ate, and I said, wow, I love that kind of eating, because the way I was doing before is like very little bit of vegetables because they're carbs, right? And come to find out, that's what my body was wanting. My body really wanted that. And bang, I started losing weight. And I was so happy to have been losing weight. And so this was not a goal of mine. However, it became a goal of mine to be healthier, to learn all of the benefits of eating this way. And so that's what I embarked on. So, but my first day was February 21st, 2023. I'll never forget it because that changed me. So I reached my goal range last June, and I have been in maintenance since then. And I have had, over time, I have decided to surrender everything with my food crazy to God. And I know I can't do this by myself. I know I can't figure it out by myself, but I have a plan, and this plan is working for my body. And all of the little tricks and the games that I had played before is not in my existence anymore. And I do have binging issues, and I am in healing when I eat this way, and I'm not going to eat for the holidays or for vacation, or, I'm not doing that anymore because it really is not good for me. It sets me up for a binge. And so I don't do that anymore. I'm all in. So it's been a learning process for me, but this way of eating heals your mind, it heals your body, and it connects you with your spirit. And I'm so thankful, Lulu, that you have, come into my life. And I am very much sharing the good news with others too, because if they ask, I'll let them know too, and I'll invite them. So that's all I have. Oh, the benefits. Well, I have that peaceful mind. I can sleep. I can hike. I am hiking up mountains. We are going out west where they have what my husband says, since he's out west, those are real mountains. Out east where I'm from, he calls them hills. Yeah, well, you over there, those are hills. I'll take you hiking to real mountains. And I would take offense to that until I saw them. But I can hike those mountains now. And I feel healthy, and I'm thankful that I can do that. And my problems, I'm handling them differently now. That's a big thing to learn. When you're ready to learn that, it's just a process for me, but it works. And everybody has problems in their lives, but we don't have to solve them with food, because they don't really get solved with food. They just go away for just a moment. You still have that problem. So anyways, I journal, I pray, I take baths. I love baths. And, it's that surrender. And every day is a new day for me. Every day is a new day for me to stay to my plan. And I'm thankful at night that I did stay to my plan. And that goes in my gratitude journal. So one day at a time. Thank you.
Oh, Liz, sounds like you have a beautiful life that you've created for yourself. And it really is interesting. Like, you think, like, what does food have to do with your emotional health or the way you handle life and life's problems? But when you're coming from a place where you're just harming yourself every day, you're disappointing yourself, and you're disappointed in yourself every day, you're breaking promises to yourself every day, it's hard to go ahead and manage your problems. It just seems like a nice, clean, clear place to come from, like that place of self-love. Like, I'm going to take good care of myself today. And as you're taking good care of your body with food, it's just amazing how that just puts you in a different emotional, mental state to to handle problems as healthfully as you do your body. Like it just kind of permeates your whole life, you know. Sounds like you've experienced that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yes, I have, and I'm very thankful. Every day I'm thankful. It just that gratitude it's like it grows daily.
Yeah.
There's no end to the gratitude. There's no end to the love that you have. That's infinite, and it shows. It just like radiates out of you. You know, it's not like I said to myself, "Oh, I want to be thin," and then people will admire me because I'm thin. That's not my goal. My goal is to be healthy, and I found this plan, and I'm so grateful. And people are saying, "My goodness, Liz, you're just always walking around all la la la, you know, happy and grateful, and to show me what you're doing." And I tell them, and then they're a little disappointed because they feel, at least right now, it's not for them. But you know, maybe someday it will be.
Yeah.
Definitely for me.
Yeah, and you know, like most people don't want to do this with food. They don't want to do what we're doing because it's just overwhelming to think about. And also those people that feel like, you know, you should be able to do everything in moderation, and you know, how can you like never have a piece of birthday cake again, and that's ridiculous, and all that weighing food out, what a big job that is. So, you know, if you want to find reasons why it's not going to work, you'll find them. If you want to find reasons how it can work, you'll find those too, you know. So, you know, it just, I know, like you said, every day it's a gift. It's a gift every single day. I was like, I've done this another day. I've done all these years later. I'm like, I've done it another day. You know, I'm so grateful. Yeah. So good. Thanks so much, Liz.
Thank you, Liz. Next up is Miss Pam.
Miss Pam. By the cherry tree.
That's me. Well, yeah, I initially started September 1st, 2023. That was those first 4 months were trying to tweak everything my way. Took me the 4 months, I think I lost like 25 pounds, but everything just completely stopped. And then I flew to Denver January 24 and was absolutely miserable. First time I ever flew by myself, most horrifying experience of my life. Ended up taking the train home. And then I was just completely disgusted. Because I thought I was doing it all 4 months and this still wasn't working. And then the official 100% date, February 7th, 2023, no, 24. Lulu and I had a talk. We had the talk, Lulu. And that just changed it. Changed everything. You asked the right questions. You made me look at what I was actually doing and where I was actually not really doing the plan 100%. Yeah, I was trying to eat the big portions of vegetables and I wasn't eating candy or those things, but I wasn't 100%. Over Christmas, I had like a half of this cookie to just taste it. And, you know, I did those things. So, yeah, but that conversation on February 7th was what just switched the switch for me. So, yeah, so ever since then, so now that's over a year at that 100% mark, and I'd say for the last, 6 months, I don't really even think much about whether I'm going to do this forever. I don't really see a reason to not eat this way. So I don't even really give it much thought anymore. It's just I eat my food for the day. That like I don't think about it as, oh, this is the food I have to eat, or oh, I have to have. It's just what I do, and I'm trying to just let it. I don't want it to be like, oh, I'm on a special plan. Nobody worry about me. I just leave me alone. I know what I'm going to eat or what I want to eat, because what I want to eat is all this stuff. I don't really crave anything else anymore. I don't think much of it. I have the emotional moments, but that's not the food I want. That's the emotional stuff. But I've been working a lot on that too. So it's not just here with, working with you guys. I do a lot of other work on all the other stuff. So and I am going to wait on a waiting list to play pickleball, and I'm so excited. I'm on the waiting list for the newbie clinic, and I can't wait.
Wow, what a transformation, Pam. My goodness.
Oh my God, I couldn't walk a block to the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got my paddles, and I've been goofing around, hitting it against the wall and stuff.
How cool is that, Pam?
And I want that sports and being an athlete was a huge part of my younger life. Even up through with my boys, I always played with them. So it's been a huge part of my life, and now I'm taking it back. Wow. That's how I feel. I'm taking that back.
Because you have the stamina and you have the physical ability to do that.
Yeah, my shoulder hurts a little after a half hour playing, but I'm gonna be all right with that.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
But yeah, of course, it's gonna take some building up, and that's why I'm practicing. But I'm waiting to get into this clinic, hopefully in a month, the waiting list. Because I didn't even realize I was gonna have to be on a waiting list. Thought I was just gonna join.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm happy
That's
for
so
you.
exciting.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I can't
really
wait for pickleball pictures to be posted.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited because I just want something. I mean, exercise is good and all, but I like to play. I don't want to just go exercise.
Yeah.
That doesn't intrigue me. I want to play, so I'm going to play.
Yeah. That sounds great, Pam. And I'm so great. I'm so grateful that you took that corner. So you were trying to follow the plan the best you could from those 6 months before you actually did it 100%. But like you said, you were just miserable. You were miserable.
Right.
So you mean
the first couple months I was good.
Yep.
But then November, December started hitting. And I was like, well, like I said, I can just taste a piece of, it won't even equal a whole cookie. It's okay.
But it was stalling. It was stalling.
By the time I got home from Colorado, end of January, I was miserable.
Yeah.
And that's when I reached out to you, because we talked like a week later.
Right. Yep.
So.
Yeah, I remember that too, Pam, because after you talked with Lulu, I was like, look at this woman. She's like 100% in. I mean, it was just like a light bulb change,
Yeah.
And I can't even say anything specific that you said to me or asked me. No.
I don't remember either.
We were Zooming, and you were sitting at, I think Barb's house in Florida.
I was at Barb's, yep. I
remember all that, but I just know you asked me a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Until I actually, I think, realized that I couldn't just do it my way.
Yeah. I probably asked you, like, why are you resisting? Like, what is it that you want more than that? More,
right.
What makes you think that, like, I wanted to know, like, do you think you can't do this? Like, it's like that it's too much work, or I think I was just, and there was really no good reason. And it was just like, I don't know why I'm not doing it. I was going to do it. Yeah.
I don't wanna.
Yeah. And it's just like,
and pretending that it was okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing things happened this last year.
Really.
So.
What's your total again?
122.
122.
Just got a little more to go. We're just creeping up to like maybe 5 to 8 more pounds.
Yeah. Wow.
And then
Yeah.
I'll feel good. I mean, I feel great. I
Yeah.
feel good.
Oh, that's so good. I can't wait to see you in your pickleball outfit.
Like I thought I was doing it. And somehow you made me see that something I was doing wasn't doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Mm.
So
Grateful, Pam.
yes, I'm grateful for you and everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Pam. I can't get enough of that. Okay, next we have Marie.
Hi, Marie.
Hello, everybody. I'm just kind of overwhelmed right now. The stories, and Nicole is getting me emotional. Now I'm going to get emotional. The support system, the trials and the successes, and it's not easy. Change isn't easy, but as far as longevity, it's funny because my husband and I were just having this discussion. He's following it, but not 100%. So he's not losing, and he's getting frustrated. He doesn't have a lot to lose. So it's, for me, it's more about health. It's about eating foods in the past that create inflammation, which, as we're learning, can lead to things like Alzheimer, cancer, diabetes, things. Why would I want to entertain that anymore? Why would I want to stop following a plan that we don't know what the future is going to bring? But at least I know that I was doing the best that I could. And then if something happens, it happens. I don't have any control over that, but I do have control over what I put in my mouth. And why would I want to change that? And we were talking about being hungry in between meals, and I'm an eater. I can really eat, I could probably eat more than a guy, but it's we were talking about that, and I realized as Americans, if we're fortunate enough, anytime we're hungry, we would reach for something. Office drawers were full of foods just in case we didn't have food, or food in the car, or food in the handbag, or just whenever that hunger would hit, we have the ability to go eat something. So it's like now my body is like, it'll tell me it's hungry in between meals, and I go, you'll be okay. We'll eat soon. And it goes, no, I want something now. So it's this reconditioning after all these decades to say, you'll survive, you ate and you will eat again and you'll be okay, and I guess it's going to take time. It's getting better. It's getting a little bit easier. But I did start on November 4th. I'm not 100%. I still have not caved eating in between meals. So that to me was a big win. And now if I can just stay the course a little bit more on the actual meal plans. But we're leaving overnight. We're going tomorrow overnight on a car trip. And I'm busy throwing stuff. I've got the rice cakes, the peanut butter. I'm figuring bananas. I'm figuring out there might be oatmeal at the hotel. Just trying so that, I don't get too thrown off course. Because ultimately for me, it's about health, and it's about minimizing the risks of, many diseases that are food caused, And so I'm just really grateful for Lulu and for everybody in this group and how kind everybody is to one another. I'm just really grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a real good energy here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marie. Somebody wrote to me, one of the comments on one of my videos, they said, what do you want to live to 140? And, I just said, my focus is quality over quantity, because I don't think I have much choice about the quantity. I think that, I don't know, there's a part of me that believes that, my day is already chosen, and we'll see when that is. But all I just know is when I'm here, I know that I can affect the quality of my life. I can increase the quality of my life. And I might as well live the rest of my years feeling really good, So I'm right there with you, Marie. Feeling good, not getting all those diseases. And like you said, and I've said it too, if I get it, it's not going to be because of me and my bad habits. It's just going to be my fate. You know, if I get some disease, I'd be like, really? Really? Me? Are you kidding me? You know? And I'd be like, all right, well, I guess I got this. So we'll see.
Right. There's no guarantee. But
Yeah.
You know, but I think I'm increasing,
Yeah.
you know, the odds that I'll be healthier longer.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, good. Glad you're here, Marie.
Thank you.
Oops, thanks, Marie. MF, hi.
Hi, MF.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see you guys. I guess my start date for me, October 14th is when I quit drinking. And it's because I kind of was drinking out of habit, because I realized the reason I was drinking moved out the end of August. So why was I still drinking? It's almost like you sit down and you think, oh, what am I going to do now? Well, I'll have a drink. But do I really want to drink? No, but I'm going to drink anyway. And it was like, okay, this is stupid. So October 14th, I stopped drinking. And it was just a couple days later that I found Lulu and started looking at her plan and thinking, well, this is a good time. If I'm going to overhaul my life, I might as well do everything at once. And yeah, so it's been working for me. I've been very lucky. As you can see, this here is a wine rack. It holds probably 150 bottles of wine, and it's empty. And it wasn't empty on October 14th, but I got rid of it all, and I didn't drink it. So, and it's going to stay empty until I put it up on Marketplace and get rid of it. But yeah, it was funny because once I realized my reasons for doing bad things to myself no longer existed, it was kind of like, okay, why are you still doing bad things to yourself? There's no reason. The reasons you had told yourself are gone, and you have every reason in the world now to want to be healthy, to want to live longer, to not kill yourself early, because that's not what you want anymore. So why are you still doing these things? And the answer was because of habit. Well, that's stupid too. So habits out the window and make new habits. And new habits are, I don't drink and I eat what's good for me, and I eat when I'm hungry. I don't eat when I'm not hungry, and it's working. So I have absolutely no thoughts of never doing this. It's my new habit, and it is my new life, and it's going to stay that way. And that's it.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love it. I love it. I just remembered it. Do you think that you were, drinking, eating out of, could you feel cravings? Maybe cravings? Not just habit, but actual cravings, and now, now that it's out of your system, you don't have the cravings anymore?
I don't think so, because I don't really ever think I had cravings. It was the same as when I quit smoking. So many people have trouble going cold turkey on something because of cravings. I didn't have cravings when I quit smoking, and I didn't have cravings when I quit drinking. And I have absolutely no cravings for sugar or any of the bad things. So I'm thinking it's more up here.
Yeah.
And less a physical craving. Right. And once it's out of up here, I think I might have a handle on it now, and I'm not going to let it back in.
See, so mine was both. Mine was crazy up here, plus physical cravings, because, when I quit drinking, I was out of my mind. When I quit smoking, I was out of my mind. And when I started the food, I was out of my mind. I was out of my mind. It was like, this is so awful. It was so hard. But then once I got past those cravings, Then now I still had to deal with the crazy head and the habits and those ideas, the ideas that like, am I never going to have a piece of cake again? You know, all that stuff that just goes on in your head. And yeah, and then things just started getting quiet. And then life just got beautiful, you know, and just so much easier, you know. So I'm so grateful that you've chosen this easier, healthier life for yourself.
Me too.
Very nice. Love it.
Yep, and me 3, because I'll tell you, MF, you like inspire me too, because you know, you've had a lot of change in your life recently, and your go-to is to care for yourself. And that can just get me all teared up, because not only are you, you know, you're moving and grooving, you're attending the books, you are just in it to I think to save yourself, you know, and watching you do it is inspiring and beautiful. And I thought that thing behind you was a shoe rack, and I thought, why is there that empty shoe rack there? But it's good to know what it is now and that it's on its way out. But
I only have 2 pairs of shoes.
It's so funny and ironic that you're sitting in these meetings to be healthy with that right there, you know. But that,
but it's empty. But it's empty.
I swear it's empty.
Yeah.
Just a beautiful. It's just beautiful to watch you.
Yeah, just to watch you, just take your life back right in your own, and just say, this is what I'm doing. This is it. This is it. I deserve it. I can make it happen. Yeah, and it's just been fabulous to witness that in you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're grateful you're here.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, MF. Ellen, you're next.
Hi, Ellen.
Hello. So I don't remember exactly my date, because I just jumped in because I hurt, and someone said their pain went away, and I just said, I'm doing this. And I think it was March 18th of 24, but it could have been a day or two either way. I don't really remember. I knew it was the middle of March somewhere, but yeah, I'm in it for the long haul. I enjoy making this wonderful food. It's so delicious. And so I'm currently at my son and daughter-in-law's painting up a storm, and I brought my camper, and I had a ball just thinking about different meals. And then I had a box, and I just started putting food in the box and thinking about all the meals that I would do. So before I leave the camper, I've had my breakfast, my lunch is ready, and the plan for supper is also ready. And I love it. I just love it. And I feel so good. I never knew I could feel this good. I guess I just never knew, because I never ate well enough to know that. And so now it's just so good. You can't even describe it. You can't even, but you know, when others notice and they ask me, I always tell them. And sometimes if I feel like they're really interested, I try to keep a copy of the plan with me, and I'll give it to them if they say they would be interested. And I have said it before, I want to be that example. And so that if anyone is interested, was like me, or is like I should say, that I want them to be better. And if I could snap my fingers and make people better, I would do that too. But I think this journey is just as much part of the healing that a person has to do to get to this point, maybe, that I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's just been, like Nicole said, I can't believe how quickly the time has gone. It's over a year already. And I reached my goal range in November of last year. And there's adjustments here and there, but time is just flying by, and it's not drudgery, it's not anything, it's just wonderful, and I'm grateful every day that I feel so good. And this painting deal is taxing me, and I'm finding out that it's amazing. I'm using a step bench, and in a gym world it would be called a step bench, and I have no idea what they call it in the painting or mechanical world, but it's like 2 feet tall, 4 feet long, and I'm up and down on that all day long, and I can do it. And there's no way before that I could have ever done it for more than a couple hours, maybe. But yesterday I went from 7 a.m. to probably 5:30. And today I quit early because of the meeting, and that's probably a good thing. And we may get interrupted by grandchildren, I don't know, but because I'm starting to feel it. This is day 4 of solid up and down bench, and so I'm feeling it, no doubt, but I can still do it. And yeah, there's no way in that former life that I could have ever. And no, I won't trade that for anything. And yeah, gratitude is such a part of it all that yeah, thank you. Thank you to everybody here plays a part in that. Absolutely. And thanks to Lou and Nicole for your guidance, and yeah, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm in it to win it, and I feel like I'm a winner. I'm already a winner.
You are a winner. You sure are. Yep. And when you said I've never felt this good, and when I think about how I've never felt this good, and I think I've lost weight many times, and I've been on diets many times, but if I'm going to Weight Watchers and I'm counting points, do you think I'm going to use my points on healthy food?
Nope.
You know what I mean? So it's like I was just eating junk. I was eating the junk and frozen things, and I don't know. It's like, or even that Nutri-System. I was on that once. I think I was in my 20s when I did that, and that's all just all packaged food, and just all packaged foods, and you're not going to feel good on that stuff.
No.
You're going to feel good because you're losing weight, and it's all about that. I'm going to lose weight and look good, but to actually feel just to feel like your cells feel alive, you just feel really good. That's day after day after day of just these volumes of clean, healthy food. So
right. One other time I was up here, and I roasted sweet potatoes, and I roasted carrots, and we had turkey, and I forget what else, but I had my plate piled, as it always is, and it was just so good. And my son remarked, and he goes, I never used to like sweet potatoes. He goes, but these are just so sweet and so good. He goes, what do you do? And I said, I just roast them and salt and pepper, and there's nothing else to it. I said, we never knew what a plain sweet potato, how good it could taste, because you slather this other stuff on it, and then you don't know what it tastes like because you're killing it, so so that's another part of an example that I want to be for whoever. So
Excellent.
It's wonderful.
Nice to hear from you, Ellen.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm happy for you.
Me too. All of us are.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's wonderful.
Thanks, Ellen.
Like I said, thank you to everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have Helen.
Hi, Helen.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Lulu.
Hi.
Well, long term, I made a commitment to that this week. I had started cleaning out my closet in the fall when we changed seasons, and it was sat in a box at the end of my bed. Now it's spring. Cleaned up my closet again. So they are gone. I took them away this week. I made the final commitment not to go back into those clothes.
Oh, the big clothes? Oh, okay.
The big clothes, they're all gone. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you did it. You did it. When you know, you know. When you know, you know. You're like, no, it's not going to need them again.
it wasn't that easy. Like I said, it took months to convince myself I wasn't going to need them again, but they're gone.
Yeah.
And so that was a big thing. And, you know, as far as general comments, a lot of people have already covered it. Marie covered a lot of the health concerns that we're trying to avoid, and I wholeheartedly offer that. I'm not hungry. I always had this thing about I need a bedtime snack because I wake up hungry. But when I stopped eating so much sugar, I don't wake up hungry ever. I never have on this plan, not one time. I started this plan, I dabbled in April of 24, and I went wholehearted in May of 24. So I'm coming up on 1 year.
Wow. Oh, good.
Yep. And it's been very satisfying. Mobility, absolutely. I feel like as I try to exercise more, everything's easier. I cleaned a kitchen floor today, and I have a rug that I have to get down on my hands and knees and work with, and it's like, I can do this again. And it was not comfortable before, so that was great. And I think for me, one of the biggest things, a plan that is measured, that you know what you're doing, and the support of the group. Because every Thursday, man, it's like, I need that little hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm addicted to.
There you go.
So thank you all.
Yeah, you come back here. You come back here and you remember, just in case you start to think any kind of thoughts other than this is it for life. You come back here and it just reminds you, this is why I'm here. This is what I'm doing. Whether you're hearing other people talk or you're hearing yourself talk. Like sometimes you need to hear yourself, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. Hear yourself say it. Yeah. Very good. Thanks, Helen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. Next, we have Barb.
Hey, Barb.
Hey, Lulu. Hey,
Good to
Nicole.
see you.
Hello, everyone. So, this is a really great topic. And it's almost like a commitment topic for people, right? Kind of feels like to get people to really commit. So I started in January of 2023, which pretty much coincided with Lulu's starting of her YouTube channel. Is that correct, Lulu?
That was right around the time. Yep.
Yeah. So, because we have the same van, I picked up on her YouTube channel pretty quickly when she started it. But there's a lot of people here that might not know the story, so I'll tell it quickly. But in January 2023, I was really, my whole body was inflamed. I was 190 pounds. I had horrible acid reflux, and from that reflux, I had really bad chronic cough, which, you know, in these days, nobody wants to be around somebody who has a cough. That's always scary. And I found out in January 2023 that I had I was intolerant to dairy, and it's something I go into, and my mom had it, and I figured it out, and I quit dairy on January 23rd, 2023, and within 3 days, almost all of my reflux was gone. I then, in February, quit gluten, and all of my reflux was gone, and also my chronic cough was gone. So all of that was caused by the food that I was eating. And if that's not a powerful reason why not to eat those foods, just those two foods, not even talking about Lulu's plans yet, but just foods that cause you inflammation and distress. To me, it's been, just over 2 years now, and I have no desire at all to ever eat gluten or dairy again. None whatsoever. But then I still wasn't losing weight. Like, I wasn't eating these things, but I wasn't losing weight because there's a lot of other bad things that you can eat, ultra processed foods, etc. And I hadn't given those up yet. And then, I don't know, I feel like maybe in March of 2023 is when Lulu really started to show her plan more on her YouTube channel. And I kind of latched on to that. And although, as many of you know, I'm not 100% and never have been 100% on Lulu's plan, I would say if you go by 3 meals, I'm 66%. And the one meal I don't do on Lulu's plan is lunch, because I like a protein shake. It's something I've been doing for 7 years. But other than that, I'm 100% Lulu's fan for the most part. I always give myself an out because I don't want to lie. But, and so I feel like eating anything other than whole foods is putting unknown chemicals into your body. And why would I ever want to do that? I don't ever want to put unknown chemicals into my body ever again. So I don't. So, you know, my foods that I have, I don't have to read labels because an apple doesn't have a label, a banana doesn't have a label, a Japanese sweet potato doesn't have a label. So I don't have to worry about labels because if you eat whole foods, you don't have to worry about labels, right? But I love weighing stuff out, and I enjoy. I can eat the same thing every day, and it doesn't bother me. So that's why this plan just really works for me. So to have no more reflux and no more inflammation, that's my reason for being in it for the long haul, because you just feel better. And, you know, you just don't want it anymore because you don't want to feel that, right? You don't want to feel crappy. Nobody likes to feel crappy. So, yeah. So anyways, back to the timeline a little bit. So by March 23rd, I pretty much started on the Lulu's program. And then by November 2023, I had lost all my weight, 65 pounds in that I wanted to weight. I started at 190. I lost 65 pounds. And yeah. And so thankful for, you know, this group and all the people and friends that I've met on this group. And yeah. So why am I in it for the long haul? Why wouldn't I be in it for the long haul? Why wouldn't I always want to put only the good stuff in my body? Not everybody can have that mindset. And it's not easy to keep that mindset all the time. And I think that's something I'll talk about at another meeting. But you know, when you can have that mindset, it's a gift. It's a real gift. And I just like the way my body feels when I eat whole foods, healthy food, and the right amount of food. So, yeah, that's what I'd like to share today.
Thanks, Barb. You know, it's almost like you said about this mindset. It's almost like a mindset, like it would be like silly, even to start eating things that make you not feel good. It's like it would be a very silly thing to do.
Yeah, it
like it's like why would I do that?
Why would I, right?
Yeah.
Why would I? Well, I could tell you reasons why I would, but you know, and I would like to say that for another opportunity to talk to the group because it's too long to go into now. But when you're in it, when your brain is in it, and you're in the zone, I like to call it, when you're in the zone and you're eating healthy and you're feeling great, and life is going exactly the way you want it, and life doesn't throw you, you know, a bunch of craziness. It feels so good. But you know, I need to have compassion for myself for when life does throw me craziness, that I can manage it, because life will get in my way. And again, that's a subject for another day, but and I will talk about it, but when I'm in it, it's the best feeling in the world, and the long haul is the only haul. But it's yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah, thanks.
And
Barb.
it does feel silly. You're right, Lulu, when you're in it.
Yeah.
But when you're not in it, it's hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're not there.
Yeah, you have
100%.
that mindset. Like if you have it, it's like you got to do everything you can to preserve that mindset.
Yeah.
Because
it's kind of like, almost like, Lulu, when you were starting your workout program, it wasn't until you made some adjustments that you said, oh yeah, this can work for me. And you've been committed to it because you broke it into small workouts multiple times a day. But before that, it was really kind of challenging for you to commit.
Well,
You
I was
did it, but it was hard.
Yeah, I was committed to my appointments with her because I paid a
Right.
fortune for them, right? So I paid a lot of
Right.
money for them. I'm not going to not show up for them, right? So now I'm showing
Right.
up for them. I don't like it. I don't like what I'm doing, but I'm liking the results of it. And then, she would always say, like, it would be really great if you could get a third workout in. So do a third one on your own and then 2 with me. And I never did that third. And now it just like you said, it's a mindset. I just, like, a switch went off, and I was just
Right.
like, I was just so dependent on her, the same way I was dependent on food, right? I'm dependent
Yeah.
on her to have me do the right thing. And it's just like,
Yeah.
it started to sound silly. And that's when now I meet with her once a week, and I work out all the time on my own.
Yeah.
So it
Because you figured out what would work for you.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily what she wanted per se, but it's what works for you. And now you together, you make it work.
I asked her, do you think it's just as helpful to me to do like six small workouts instead of 2 big ones, And she said, oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you figured out what works for you and you did it.
Yeah.
And that's what we all need to do here for food wise.
Yeah.
Figure out what works for us.
Yep. Like I always say, like, it doesn't have to be my way, but if it's your way, is it working? If it's working, then it's a great way,
That's right.
Yeah. But
the great way.
Yep.
The great way.
The
That's
great
the good
way.
one.
There you go. The great way.
The great way. That's funny. So yeah. But I really want to say that if you're struggling and you're not in it for the long haul yet, because you haven't gotten there, just keep trying.
Keep coming
Honestly,
back.
just really, really keep trying, because all of a sudden, and it'll come out of the blue. You'll just get that switch, and you'll be like, "I get it.
Yeah.
This is easy."
Yeah. You'll be like, "This is
Because
ridiculous."
once it flips, you got it.
Yeah.
But
You'll be
getting
like,
it to flip
yeah.
is hard.
Right.
It's not.
Yep.
It's not a simple process. I don't think anybody here that is having success, from Pam to Kathleen to Nicole to Liz to anybody, will say the first couple months were easy.
Right.
But once it flips, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
So
once it really feels doable, reasonable, and that it's a good choice.
yeah.
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 Good, Barb. Thanks so much, Barb.
Thank you, Barb. Sherry, Seattle.
Hey, Sherry.
Yay.
Hi.
Hi.
So good to see you all. So, I am in it for the long haul. And, it occurred to me recently that I think the advantage and an advantage I had in being able to really love this food plan was that before Lulu, I didn't cook. And then Lulu taught us on YouTube how to make food easy. I mean, and it's delicious. And I had to get all the toys. I got the Lulu Instant Pot and the Lulu toaster oven, and, and I also have an air fryer. And so, with all of that, I get everything going at the same time on my food prep, and it's all done so quickly, and trying out all different kinds of foods that I've never even heard of before. So I just love it. So I think that's a big part of why I love the food plan. And I always had a huge appetite, and this plan allows me to just, really eat a lot of food. So there's that. But, I didn't get to come last week again. And so I was watching it on YouTube, and I saw somebody in this Zoom last week say that they were doing 100% and they gained 4 pounds. And somebody suggested maybe her scale was, check your scale and see if you, or get a new scale because it was a really old. And I think we were talking about the way your self human scale. But I was also thinking, what if her food scale was needed to be calibrated? What if she's eating more food than she thinks she is because her scale is weighing it at 4 ounces and it's 8 ounces? I don't know. Anyway, just a thought I had. I thought I would throw that out there in case anybody's having that. Maybe that's a thing.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you think
I'm in it for the long haul. I'm not eating any other way. I'm there. I take my food with me to restaurants. I've never had anybody tell me I can't eat in there. I always ask, are you comfortable with me eating, bringing my own food in with my group here? They've always been very kind. I was very insecure with my family, and my family still asks all sorts of questions. There's a lot of but, and I just, maybe it's not for you, but man, I love the way I eat, and I feel so good, and I'm at my ideal weight, and I am easily maintaining it, and I don't have to ever worry about gaining a pound again.
Yeah.
It's
a freedom.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. It's a freedom.
It doesn't bother me anymore. They can pick on me.
Yeah. You're free. You're free, Sherry. It's like a freedom.
I am free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah. I love it too.
Thank you,
nice,
Lulu.
So nice to hear from you,
and
Sherry.
Everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Sherry. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Next is Helen.
Hi, Helen.
Hi there. I'm not ready to talk about my long term yet because I'm still in the struggling and negotiating stage. But Sherry, I thought that was a great suggestion about the food scale. And the other suggestion that's been in my mind for people is instead of using ounces, use grams, because it's more precise, your amounts. So if you're using grams, that'll make a difference in how much food you're putting in your big ass dish. Because I do foster kittens. And so I use grams for that because it's more precise for how much they're eating than ounces is. And then our own cats got to where we needed to measure their food, and the same thing. It makes a big difference in how much they eat. And so I weigh my food in grams. And so I appreciate that the list has it in ounces and grams. But if you switch to grams and try to stick to that low when it first changes, as opposed to going to ounce, it might be just what somebody needs to make a difference. So
interesting.
My 2 cents worth.
Yeah. Thanks, Helen.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Kathleen.
Hey, Kathleen.
Hi. Yes, I just want to add, yes, I'm in for the long haul, of course. I started June 1st, 23. I reached my goal weight on January 1st, 25. I've lost, about 70 pounds. And I, like Barb, have gluten intolerance and lactose intolerance. So that does limit, what you can do with the food plan. But there's just no comparison in how good you feel and the options. And there's so many other things. I don't even miss anything that is not good for me anymore. And yes, it's changed my life. Just going to a store and buying clothes that you want to buy, being more active, no aches and pains, all the things that everyone talked about tonight, the same thing. Having a clear head, not wondering how you're going to get through the day. You're going to enjoy the day is what you're going to do. And you're going to feel good when you go to bed, and you're going to feel good when you wake up. And there's no more putting your head down at night and thinking, I really screwed up today, and I hope tomorrow's better. You don't have to do that anymore. You can just be grateful for the day you had and tomorrow's going to be better. And so, yeah, no, I'm not going anywhere. Thanks, Lulu.
Yay.
Thanks,
Good.
Nicole. Thanks, Barb, Pam, everybody. Yeah.
It's been a joy having you here. Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you. Yeah, just wanted to add that. Keep
Good.
going. Keep going. And, you know, like Barb said, like it flips.
Yeah.
You know, you have to change all those synapses in your brain, and they have to be rerouted, and you just keep doing it. You just keep doing it, and one day it's your new life. That's all.
Yeah.
You know. So.
That's a good way to put it. Yep.
Beautiful. Thank you,
Okay.
Kathleen.